All right, guys. So we finished up with chapter 5, and even though you might not know it, we actually hit a major milestone in our circuit analysis. We're actually going to transition into chapter 6, in which we introduce the last two of the ideal basic circuit elements. The first element is the inductor, the second element is the capacitor. And one of the things that we will see is that our study of DC circuits by themselves is pretty much done. We're actually going to start taking a look at circuits in which voltages and currents are not static anymore. They're actually functions of time, right? And once we introduce the two last ideal basic circuit elements, one of the things that we really want to pay attention to is we want to be able to still write down what the IV characteristics are. And one of the things that you will see as well is that rather than being algebraic equations, like the ones for the capacitor with Ohm's law, the equations that we're going to be handling from here on out are either differential equations or integral equations. Okay. Now, before we start really buckling down and figuring out what the IV characteristics for the two new elements are, there are a few things that I do actually want to make mention of. It's essentially the following. That these elements themselves are actually energy storage elements. So this is the beginning of chapter 6, and this is on inductance and capacitance. Now, what I want to talk about really is not mathematical at all. It's kind of a more general understanding kind of topic. It's not that capacitors and inductors are still passive elements. They're energy storage elements. They cannot generate their own energy, but they can actually store a certain amount of energy and later on return it back into the circuit. So here we have energy storage elements. Capacitors and inductors are still passive elements. They cannot generate energy, but can store it and return it to the circuit. And we will actually see this, how energy is stored in both of these elements a bit later on as well. Right? So we will have equations for this. And one thing that's also going to be important is based on the energy storage equations, one of the things that we're going to be able to derive based on physical constraints, physical restrictions, is that as other things within a circuit are changing discontinuously across a capacitor, the voltage will always change continuously. It cannot jump instantaneously from one value to another, while with the inductor, based on similar considerations, the current inside of an inductor must change continuously as well. It cannot discontinuously change from one value to another. But we'll see that in due time.